Hello, welcome,
Hello.
welcome to the Plot Malaysia.
Comebacks. All about
The
comebacks.
comebacks, bro. It's the Darwin Nunez show.
No. Easy. Hello. Welcome to the Plot Malaysia. This is again back for the new season. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans. Woo!
Woo! Wow, hurry. I must say both of us are really living it, huh? Comebacks, one after the other. Fantastic.
Oh, I'm over the moon, my friend. Absolutely over the moon today, man. And
And I can
I
say the
think you know
same.
the. I think you can. I think you know the reasons why. I mean, don't compare your game to ours, lah, brother. Don't
Hey,
compare
comeback
it.
is a comeback. A comeback is a comeback. You guys did it
Uh,
twice with 10 men. Brilliant. I think you guys can just play with 10 men then. No more 11 men for you guys
uh,
throughout the season.
Oh man, bro, you don't know the high I've been having the whole day. I've just been checking out Liverpool videos, just watching the goals again and again, the highlights again and again. In Klopp's words, it's the best. It's one of the best games he's ever managed. Uh, and I mean, I don't know what to say, man. But guys, joining the stream, thanks for joining us today. Hit the like button, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're back on a weekly basis now, doing reviews of the games, plus any updates for any of our clubs as well. And yeah, do hit the bell notification as well. But yeah, hit the likes, guys. Please hit the likes and support the channel. Ram, there's no other place to start as we review the weekend. There's no better place to start. There's no other place to start. But in the most recent game at St. James's Park. Whoa!
I only saw the second half, to be honest, but it was electrifying. But hurry, I'll leave you to it, man. Go ahead. Talk about it. Go for
Did
it.
you catch the game?
Second half. I saw the second half.
Simba, I've been doing exactly the same thing as I told you, man. Just watching videos, clips again and again. It was an unbelievable match. I'll tell you something, Ram. Just talking about the game, right? So, I mean, the first thing I want to say is we never, as Liverpool fans, because we're so used to this now. I mean, as in like comebacks, comeback against Barcelona, the AC Milan game, a lot of last-minute winners that we've scored as well. We never give in. We never give up. We never give in. We're always there. There's always that hope in us that something can happen. And I think yesterday was one of those matches as well last night. So, I mean, anyone who saw the game, man, we started off horrifically again, right? So
Yeah.
it's St. James's Park. It's a very noisy atmosphere, one of the most boisterous crowds. They really get behind their team and they're flying, right? Newcastle is flying over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
We've got to say that as well. So difficult game to start with. We've got a completely new look midfield. We had Endo, McAllister, Sobozlai playing for the first time. We started off atrociously. I thought Trent was horrendous. I mean, he obviously, firstly, I've got to say that referee is blind, I think, because he was definitely, Trent was shoved, literally shoved onto the ground, onto the touchline, and then he didn't give a free kick. So Trent lost it a bit through the ball. And obviously, there's a new narrative now, right? So he was given a yellow card. And then he could have been sent off quite easily a minute later when he checked or he blocked Anthony Gordon's run as well. But luckily, the referee finally got a bit lenient. And then that was Trent. And then Trent makes a mistake with a control, and Anthony Gordon is through, and Newcastle lead 1-0. And then what happens a minute or two later? Just when we thought it can't get any worse, right? Trent on the brink
Oh, it
of
got
getting
worse.
sent off. It got worse, my friend. It got worse. Anthony Gordon, again, kind of skips past Trent quite easily, plays a ball through, and then Virgil van Dijk. I mean, I know there's been some people saying it's controversial, etc. In my opinion, I mean, we've got to take our tinted glasses off, guys. I think it was a red card. It was a last man challenge. He did touch the ball, but he took the player out first, Isaac, and I think it was a red card. So I think fair dues to the referee and VAR on that one. So, and then so just summarizing this for you, Ram. It's St. James's Park, Newcastle on a high, flying. It's a boisterous crowd. Trent is having a nightmare on the brink of getting sent off. Then Newcastle score. Virgil van Dijk gets sent off. We're playing with 10 men at Newcastle, and you're fearing the worst, man. It's horrendous. We think we could lose 3 or 4-0. And then, yeah, I mean, Keshav, yeah, Trent was very poor in defensive aspects of the game.
Well,
Uh,
Hari, you're right about one thing though. It did eventually become St. James's pork after the game.
oh, my friend. And then, yeah, I mean, like Lakshan says, right? Lakshan, yeah, exactly, man. He was a red card. He got the play and then the ball. It was a last man challenge because Isaac was in. So I think fair play. But then I've got to say now, this is where I've got to say this game was all about the managers on the bench. And it was a clear sign that Eddie Howe is nowhere near Jurgen Klopp. As much as he gets hyped up, he's nowhere near Jurgen Klopp yet in terms of experience, in terms of tactically as well. Because Jurgen Klopp outschooled Eddie Howe yesterday, completely outschooled him. He was playing at home with 11 men, and Jurgen Klopp outschooled him. First thing, after Van Dijk gets sent off, he takes off Luis Diaz and he replaces him with Joe Gomez.
That's
Now,
a known tactic for him. I don't know why every time there's someone sends off, Luis Diaz is the first one that comes off.
no, no.
Is that like a fixed tactic?
No, no. So this is the one. This is the part that's very interesting, right? So people were saying, "What is he doing?" Klopp doesn't know. How can he take Luis Diaz? Because Diaz has been on fire at the start of the season. He started off the game against Newcastle really well as well, and he gets taken off. That's why you've got to give Jurgen Klopp credit. I think what he did was very simply, if you analyze the game again, he decided to take Luis Diaz off because Luis Diaz likes to hug the touchline. He likes to make the pitch wide. He likes to run at his defenders from out wide. And what Jurgen Klopp wanted to do was he wanted to narrow the game. He wanted the team to become compacts, really crowd the middle of the pitch out. So Newcastle couldn't find the through balls, really compact the game and crowd the middle of the pitch out and really take away the width from the game, which is why Luis Diaz came off. And Cody Gakpo then sort of tucked into that side, but Gakpo plays more inside. So I thought that was a tactical genius move by him. And then, yeah, I mean, obviously and then I've got to say, man, as much as we give credit to the rest of the players, and we'll talk about Nunez and all later, man of the match for me was Allison, man. That save he made from Anthony Gordon. I mean, not from Anthony, from Almiron, Miguel Almiron.
Yeah.
That save is the save of the season and probably the save of the last 5 or 6 years. It was stunning, man. It was world class. Some ex-players, pundits have said they've never seen a save like that in years. It was so bloody good. So that kept it at 1-0 before halftime. And I think that was key. Going into the dressing room at 1-0. Keeping it at 1-0 so Jurgen Klopp can talk to the guys again, build it up again and say, listen, guys, just keep it tight. Change a few things tactically. And I think keeping it at 1-0 going into the dressing room at halftime was key. So obviously he did that. Brilliant. And then obviously we came out. We defended very compactly, very narrow again. And the idea was very simply, Ram, to keep it tight, not to concede a second goal. And we
Almost did with
no, we
Almiron
made
hitting
it.
the post. Yep.
Almiron hit the post, but if you think about it, that was their only chance in the second half.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
considering they were playing 11 against 10, we did a brilliant job defensively, I thought. We really cut out
I
the
think
chances.
Newcastle took the foot off the gas. To put it very simply, they took the foot off the gas.
I think maybe that was that, but I think it was more. They didn't know how to play 10 men. I think that's where the inexperience came in. They're still an inexperienced side. They just didn't know how to play against 10 men who crowd out the middle of the pitch and who let them have the ball. They probably like playing against teams who go like neck to neck with them. Liverpool just let them have the ball, crowd out the middle of the pitch, and were preying on the break. And I think the idea tactically was very simple. Keep it tight, and then we'll make a few substitutions. And the first batch of substitutions was key. The first batch of substitutions was Diogo Jota came on. And I thought Diogo Jota had a unbelievable impact on the game, man. I think Harvey Elliott came on as well, and I thought he was brilliant as well. But yeah, Diogo Jota for me was outstanding. He came on, he was absolutely outstanding. I mean, Lakshan points out Szoboszlai, man of the match. Szoboszlai was an engine, man, yesterday. Everyone was brilliant, but Szoboszlai was a bloody engine. He was running up and down. He was doing all the dirty work. He's a physical beast, man, this guy, and he's been a brilliant signing. But yeah, I thought Jota came on, did really well. He set up Salah, and Salah almost scored. And then the tactical genius of Klopp came in. Keep it tight, 1-0 until the 80th or 79th or 80th minute, and then he brings on the wild card. He brings on Darwin Nunez. And what he does by bringing on Darwin Nunez, Ram, is he opens the game up. He says, listen, now we have kept it to 1-0 as long as we can. Now we're going to play with 3 out-and-out forwards, and we're going to go for it. If we concede a goal, well and good. I mean, it's fine, but we're going to go for it now. And Darwin Nunez was outstanding, man. I don't know what to say about it. He just ran them ragged. They just couldn't deal with him. They absolutely couldn't deal with him. He had one chance where he missed control. Then the second one, he was through. And that finish was world class, by the way, for 1-1. And then obviously Salah with a brilliant ball through. Darwin Nunez scores the second. Again, an outstanding finish against England's goalkeeper, by the way, Nick Pope as well. And yeah, Ram, that's the summary of the game, man. We walk out of St. James's Park playing 70 minutes with 10 men as 2-1 winners. And it's just a brilliant feeling. I don't know what to say. It's absolutely brilliant, man.
Well, to be honest, Hari, you've been. I can see the passion. I can feel the passion.
Allison was immense. Absolutely, Lakshani was brilliant.
Okay,
yeah, and Simba says yes. Allison Say was out of this world. Any other goalie would have been a goal. Yes, outstanding. This season is weird. 10 men hardly losing their games. Yeah, spot on, man. Liverpool 10 men against Bournemouth won. Second game in the row, 10 men. The one question I've got to ask is, man, I don't know about you, Ram, but why is every game people getting sent off now? It's as if the referees have gone crazy this year. It's spoiling the games, man.
Yeah, it's spoiling the game. Kill the game early. It's very annoying to watch.
There used to be a sending off in every game. There was a sending off in this game. There was a sending off in the United game, I think. There was a sending off in the Arsenal game.
Yep.
There's a sending off in every bloody game, man. And I think it's just spoiling the game of football. I don't know what you guys think, guys. Guys, let us know in your comments, man. Why is there a sending off in every game? It just doesn't make sense. It's spoiling the games. And I think the referees have I don't know what the directive is this year, but it just, I don't know, man. It's just too petty, lah.
Not only about the sending off a race, sometimes even the time wasting shit and all the extra time, additional time that's being added on is ridiculous in my opinion. Like 11 minutes, 12 minutes, it's just to me, I just find it like it's just ridiculous. The sending off should have been regulated properly. The VAR is doing its job, but the thing is, I think they're getting a lot of backlash from previous decisions that were not made and they were punished for it. So trying to make up for what they have actually done wrong. And try to actually do everything in one game and send people off and thinking that that's the right decision. But in honest truth, right, this is just it's very inconsistent in my opinion, Hari. I think it's going to get worse from the games coming forward. So I think the referees need to be changed. I don't want to see the same faces of referees again. I want different referees to come and not spoil the game of football. It's just absolutely ridiculous in my point of view.
The problem is, I don't think it's the referees. I think it's the directive, man. They've been given these directives now to go a bit like really harsh on players for any challenges at the start of this season. And I think the one that is really annoying is the dissent one. Anytime you dissent, you get a yellow card straight away, or you throw the ball away, you get a yellow card straight away. And the problem is they're getting themselves into trouble by doing that, because they keep giving these early yellow cards for dissent. And then after that, if someone makes a challenge, they've got no. And then after that, if someone makes a challenge, they've got no choice but to send them off and give them a second yellow. So I think they're putting themselves into a corner and spoiling the game of football. But guys, let us know in the comments what your thoughts are about that as well, because it's something I've noticed.
I'm equally baffled. So please let us know, guys. Know what your thoughts are.
I don't know what you guys think, but there've been way too many red cards, and I'm just taking the sting out of the games and spoiling games as well. But again, in this case, no complaints, man. We came out 2-1, and the feeling beating an 11-man side with 10 men, nothing like it, man. Nothing like it. Darwin Nunez, chaos agent, 2 chances, 2 well taken. Absolutely, Simba. The one thing I've got to say is, man, last year's Darwin Nunez, 2 chances, chaos agent for sure. 2 chances, no goals. He wasn't converting his chances last year. This year, the man is on fire. He's converting his chances. He looks like he's confident, and he looks like he's taken his game to the next level in terms of finishing. I've got to point out this one. I thought Simba had a great point here. Eddie Howe took off Gordon and Tonali. Yes, I thought this was... the substitutions were key in this game. Liverpool made some brilliant substitutions. I thought Eddie Howe got his substitutions absolutely wrong. He took out Gordon. He took out Tonali, who were brilliant. The other thing I'm going to add is I thought Joe Linton coming off was key as well. Joe Linton adds a lot of philosophy for them in the middle of the pitch. Yeah. And I thought taking him out took a lot out of the Newcastle game as well. That's another one I'll have to say. Hitesh, thanks for joining, man. Absolutely, man. Amazing mentality, my friend. It's stunning. It's a new team, and the mentality is still the same. It's all about Jurgen Klopp. What do you guys think of Eddie Howe? What you guys are doing so far? Listen, I mean, I've been impressed. I mean, I don't know, Ram. I'll let you say. Answer this as well. I was going to give my 2 cents. I mean, Eddie Howe, I think he's very impressive since he's coming to Newcastle. They've been flying. They qualified for the Champions League. I think they're facing a bit of a challenge now. I actually feel that squad
Mm,
of players they had last year was overperforming, and I think now they've kind of found their level a little bit as well. They're having a bit of a dip now. They lost to Man City, of course. I mean, they've had a tough run of fixtures, but I mean, I think yesterday was a real killer blow. Playing 10-man Liverpool at St. James's Park and you lose after being 1-0 up, I think that's going to take a lot out of them. So I don't know, man. They're a good side. They're doing well under Eddie Howe, but the real test comes in now because I don't think the owners are going to tolerate too much with this kind of, especially
I
with
think
these
I
kind of
think
mega rich owners.
I think Newcastle is just overwhelmed with everything. Like what you said, Harry. I think they're just getting used to life. Going through Champions League. They're overly excited, of course. Yes, tough run of games, but I think the way they're showing what they're playing against, how they're playing against Man City now, Liverpool. Yesterday's game, to be honest, Harry, I'm not just saying this because I'm not a Liverpool fan, but for Newcastle standard right now, being in the Champions League, when you're playing a home match, you're supposed to go all out and win it, not just settle for a goal and take your best players off and thinking that okay, a 10-man Liverpool is not going to come back. So I think the mentality has to switch. That in the Premier League itself now, I feel any team is worthy of beating any team. To be very frank,
So
you
do
know,
you, do
as
you think? So guys, I want to know your thoughts on it. Do you think Newcastle have got a bit big-headed as well? The
yes,
squad. I'm
yes,
talking about
100%.
the players, the manager for that aspect, and his assistant manager, for example, yesterday was shushing Klopp
Yeah,
at some point in the game,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I think there's no need for that. I think have they got a
yeah,
bit big-headed? The fact that they
yeah,
qualified for the Champions League, the fact that they've got all this money now, they're playing well,
yeah.
and I think maybe is the humility gone out of of that squad because that's the feeling I got watching the game yesterday, especially with some of the
But
decisions they were taking.
yeah,
It's almost
yeah,
as if they were just they were expecting to win, and they didn't realize that they were up against a beast.
yeah. And the thing is, for me, it's now up to the next game. So for me, if Newcastle can actually throw this out and say, okay, next game they come back and they show some attitude, show some finesse, and show that they really want this competition, then they're on the right track. But if they actually go down that road again and perform the way they did previously, then it's gonna be downhill, and it's gonna be a very difficult task for Eddie Howe to bring them up again. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens next. But yeah, man, cheers to Liverpool. I mean, I've never thought I would say this, but yeah, entertaining game. Well done, Nunez. I never expected him to be scoring 2 goals in the game because he always looks like someone that will miss a shot. So I guess wait and see how he's
And
going to
and
perform.
and I'm just going to say two stunning finishes as well, two outstanding finishes, stunning finishes as
I'll
well.
give you that. I'll give you guys that because so surprising that you guys have Salah and all the other players, but no one could score, and he came on, as a substitute, and he bagged in 2 goals. Well, it's a story. It's a good story for him. Good fairy tale story for him, and maybe this could be his calling. You
No,
never know.
I've just got to say, man, a win like this early in the season really gives the team a boost, and you could see the Liverpool squad. Were very united at the end of the game. There was a lot of unity. There was a lot of this self belief and confidence, and I think a victory like this really does a lot for the rest of the season as well.
I
So
have
I
a
think that
question
was
for
good to
you.
see. Hmm.
Yeah, I have a question actually, Harry. So now you have got two. Of course, McAllister red card was appeal was successful, and now with Van Dijk out, on the fray, you guys are still having situations with the centre back issue, like how it was before, players injured and so on and so forth. How are
Hmm.
you going to deal with this current situation moving into the next games?
Yeah, so I think that's key, right? Jurgen Klopp is brilliant, man. You could see what he does, even with 10 men tactically as well. I think this is the final week of the transfer window. Now now it's over to the owners, FSG. Back the guy, man. For God's sake, back him. It's the last week of the window. Get him a centre back. Get him another central midfielder, and we're done. We'll go for the title. I think Al Fancy will challenge for the title. We'll challenge. We
Oh
may
my
not win it,
god.
we may not win it,
Hmm.
but we will challenge for the title. If we get a centre back, we get another central midfielder. My opinion is we'll challenge for the title. But yeah, man, just back the guy, man. Apart from that, yeah, I've heard Virgil van Dijk is not going to be three game. It's only going to be a 1 game ban because it's not
Hmm.
violent conduct. So if you guys know, let us know in the comments as well. But that's what I've heard. So it may not be so bad. I thought Joe Gomez was outstanding when he came on. By the way, that was vintage Joe Gomez. The with Joe Gomez when we won the title was like that. He was outstanding. So I thought he was brilliant. The young guy came on, Gerald Quensa, and centre back, and he looks a unit, man. He's been doing well in preseason, and he had a good debut yesterday. Played really well in a tough situation. So, yeah, but I think we definitely need two signings, man. I think this is a couple of good points, man. How overachieved last season. This season will be the real test. Indeed, this season will be the real test for Eddie Howe.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
We'll talk briefly about West Ham, man. But what a performance away to Brighton and winning 3-1 as well. I mean, they look aside. And you know what's the best part? Talking about West Ham here very quickly before we sort of wrap up the Liverpool game. But West Ham have sold Declan Rice for £100 million. In my opinion, they've got stronger because with that £100 million, they have bought.
They're going to buy Harry Maguire. Bro. They want to buy Harry Maguire. That's the best part.
Harry Maguire, I think, is the worst decision. But apart from that, sold Declan Rice and rebuilt their midfield. They signed Edson Alvarez from Ajax, who is a defensive midfielder, a good one as well. They signed James Ward-Prowse, who's a brilliant midfielder, a great set-piece taker as well. And then they've just signed Mohamed Kudus, who I really like, man, from Ajax as well.
Oh, my God. Mohamed Kudus is one of my favorite players. Man.
Yeah, so that's three outstanding players for the price of Declan Rice. I think that's brilliant business by West Ham. So, yeah, Keshav, awesome job, man. Joe Linton made 5 fouls, and yet the referee never gave a yellow card. Exactly, man. What's this biased refereeing, man? All against Liverpool, hey. Very good question, Ram. Centre back definitely at least one line. Another will be challenging. Exactly as I said, 4 more days before the window closes. Let's go for it, FSG. Lakshan has got a couple of tips here. Maybe we go for Dokore. Yes, check Dokore from Crystal Palace. But I got a feeling it's going to be a surprise, man. Something like Endo is going to come out of the blue. But let's wait and see. Virgil van Dijk going to be punished even more after abusive language to the fourth official. Well, the fourth official definitely deserved it. Give Maguire for free for all I care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, he's got Eugene's got a good point, man. Maguire might be a good buy for West Ham style of play, which is a bit more of a defensive style of play. Obviously, West Ham play with a lower line and not a high line as well. So
good for him, man. Good for him. Happy for him. That works out for him, man. Good for him. Just go. Just leave the squad, please. Bye-bye.
But yeah, I mean, man, listen, I think he could be a good signing for West Ham. You never know for the way they play, and I think they're building a good squad there at West Ham, man. So
he'll be a good signing for any other team except United. So please just buzz off, man. Maguire, if you're watching this, get out, please. Tomorrow itself. You go 4 days.
To wrap this up, guys, Liverpool are back. Great win. It's unbelievable. We're fired up. It was a sensational victory. It should take us. It should give the squad a real boost. I thought everyone really dug in, and that was brilliant to see. Gomez, Trent in the second half was good. Robbo, Matip, and then Quansah came on, was great. McAllister and Szoboszlai, it looks like they've been at the club for years. They've just settled in really quickly. The both of them look really good. And then obviously our forwards are always going to get us goals. So what we really need is we need some help, FSG. For God's sake, dig deep into your pockets. Give us one centre back, one midfielder, and we'll start challenging. That's the hope anyway.
There you have it, Harry. There you have it, Harry, with his Liverpool passion. FSG wants. Whatever it is, you can have Harry Maguire if you want. He's available. Anyway, moving on.
Hey, Ram, good point. Eugene's got a great one here, man. If you get rid of Harry Maguire, he wants to give you Eric Dyer, bro. You mau ke tak mau?
Tak mau lah. Tak apalah, simpan sajalah.
Eric Dyer pun tak mau. I think I actually talking about United. Let's talk about the United game as well. Obviously, this was the other comeback that we want to cover today, guys. We obviously talked very briefly about the Arsenal game. Arsenal got stung, man, by a 10-man Fulham at the Emirates, by the way, who got a leveler. Man City won. Again, it was a tough game against Sheffield United without Pep on the bench, but they managed to get dig a win out anyways. 2-1 Rodri goal. West Ham, as I mentioned, great win, 3-1. And obviously signing Mohamed Kudus as well to add to that squad. Mikel Antonio started like a house on fire. That goal he scored was brilliant again, I thought. So, yeah, West Ham, Jared Bowen looks great, looks in terrific form as well. So, yeah, some good results across the league. Spurs, man, on a winning streak for them, won again away from home, I believe. Was it Bournemouth they beat? Or Brentford? I think it was Bournemouth that they beat 2-0 as well. So great result for Spurs. James Maddison scored and he started like a house on fire at Spurs. He's been really good as well for them. So some good results across the league. But Ram, the other game that we're going to cover now is United game. United. Tell us a bit about this game, la brother. How did
I
they
was
pull this
shocked.
off?
I was shocked. I was shocked. The first minute itself, Taiwo Awoniyi. Oh my goodness, he's a real tough nut to crack, and he is a tough one to handle. He's absolutely brilliant. I think his future is very bright in the Premier League. I think he's going to score more goals. Brilliant what he did, but of course, a defensive mistake. I was shocked. Scored. We considered a goal early, and then it doesn't even stop there. 3 minutes later,
He's
we
considered
concede
another
another
goal.
goal,
Hey,
and
actually,
the
actually,
best part.
can I quickly stop you there, Ram? Taiwo
What?
Awoniyi. For you guys who don't know, Taiwo
Yeah.
Awoniyi was signed by Liverpool. He was a Liverpool player on Liverpool's books for 6 years, and he was on loan to many places for work permit reasons and all. And then Liverpool eventually sold him to Germany, right? And then from Germany he did well, and then he was signed by Nottingham Forest. But yeah, man, the
Brilliant
guy,
player. Brilliant
he's
player.
terrific. He's terrific. He's built form now. And not just that, he's the third African player to score in 7 consecutive Premier League games in a row. And
Yep.
that too, playing for Nottingham Forest. The other two players were Salah and was it Drogba or Adebayor? Guys, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it was one of them. And considering the fact that they were playing for bigger clubs, he is playing for
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest and scoring in 7 Premier League games in a row. Man, that's outstanding.
Yeah. So
But yeah, go ahead, Ram. Tell us.
Yeah, can you hear
Ram.
me?
Yeah, now we can. Yes, now we can.
Okay, apologies. So yeah, I think when the second goal entered for Forest, I think the striker, the person who scored the goal, didn't even know that he actually scored the goal until he realized the ball went at the back of the net. And of course, it was a very poor performance defensively. I was very upset. But I think what we saw, or what I saw from the other team, was we were winning the ball a lot more in the midfield. We were dominating the possession after we were 2-0 down. We were focused on getting that goal as early as possible. And the moment we scored that goal through Casemiro, it was absolutely brilliant. We needed that goal. We needed that to happen for us. And of course, that was just that was just the start of the comeback, because they scored early. So we actually had the chance to now get our goal before halftime and actually be on pursuit for the next goal as well. So fantastic performance by Bruno. Yes, absolutely, you're right, Hitesh. Bruno really shined in that game. As opposed to the one in Spurs, he didn't do much. But this time, the midfield, the attack did a lot of. I mean, they were just brilliant. I had no words to describe that. And every time I see them attack, I felt there was a chance they were going to score. And it's been very, very few and far in between last season. But this time, after we lost against Spurs, we bounced back. And every time we attacked, I was super confident. And I knew that when we scored that first goal, we were going to win that game. I know about you guys. Do let me know how you feel as well. Because all the other fans out there, when you're watching the game, we are purely disappointed when we let in 2 goals so early. But when we actually took charge of that game, had more chances, we knew we were going to actually win. And I was not surprised by the scoreline. Could have been more. Could have been 4-2. Could have been 5-2. But I believe everyone came together, and I think this is just a start of how Eric Ten Hag wants United to be playing this season. Maybe Mount not being in the squad could be a blessing in disguise, because he has not been performing the last 2 games. So with the squad that we had, against Nottingham Forest, I think it was a good one, and I hope he sticks with this as much as possible onto the next games as much. So I think
I've got a couple of questions, man. Firstly, Mason Mount, you've just signed him for £60 million, and you're already telling me that you'd rather not him in the squad.
No, I'm just basing it on the 2 games that he has actually performed. So this could be a good transition where he has to fight for his place right now, get back into the squad, and for the players that actually came on,
Is he a flop?
they performed.
Let's cut to
No,
the chase.
I'm not.
Is
No,
Mason
no,
Mount
no.
a
I'm
flop?
not. No, I'm not going to say it's a flop yet. I'm not going to say it's a flop yet. I think I'm going to give him that chance. I always believe that a new player that comes into the squad, doesn't matter what your history is, you are given at least 10 to 11 games to show what you're made of. So first 2 games, he has not impressed, but I'm pretty sure that, the next coming 8 or 9 games, he would probably
The,
do
the,
something.
the other question I'm going to ask, man, for you, for Hitesh in the chat, for any of the United fans in the chat as well, man. Obviously, you're very happy about a comeback, but should you be
Yeah.
that happy and excited about the fact that you came back against Nottingham Forest, by the way, at home at Old Trafford to win 3-2? Is it really that big a performance? If you know what I mean, Ram, because I'm have the standards fallen? Because this, if this was what Solskjaer was doing, if I remember correctly, during the time when you guys were managed by Solskjaer, you guys used to be losing 1 or 2-0 in games, and then you'd come back and win 3-2 or 4-2 or something like that out of desperation. Isn't it repeating itself again?
No, it's not. It's not.
If you're desperate and you're winning, having to come back from 2-0 down to beat Forest at home, isn't that a bit
No,
desperate?
it's not. It's not, Harry. I think you got to look at the teams now that they are all lined up for the Premier League. How fast they are, the upfront strikers. A lot of these players, they are really, really going all out. So, like what I said earlier, a lot of the teams, doesn't matter whether you're Forest or whether you're Chelsea or whatever you are, whoever you are, the level of standard of playing, every team has upped their standards. And I can tell you one thing, I won't be surprised the next game, Liverpool, you guys could be playing Luton Town and lose the game. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? So, what I'm saying is, every team has that chance, and I think, to be honest, it's good. I
But
think
but
I think it's good. I think it's good because that is a wake up call for teams like United,
But how many
Liverpool,
wake up
Chelsea,
calls do you guys
Arsenal.
need? How many wake up calls do you guys
Dude,
need?
it's just
I
the
mean,
third game of the season,
no,
dude.
exactly,
It's just the
exactly,
third game of the season.
exactly. But from what I've been
Yeah.
hearing, in the first 3 games, United haven't played well.
Yeah, they've not played well. I'm not saying they're playing super
So
well the first 3 games,
it's not
but
it's
we
not
got 2
one
wins
game.
out of 3.
But it's not one game. It's 3 games
Yeah,
that you
but you
haven't been.
see, no, but you see, every game, like people talk about, you got to win ugly sometimes. You got to win. You got to win you got to win games. Sometimes you're not performing, but you still got to win it. You got to win ugly. Doesn't matter how you win it, but you got to win it. You got to get it.
I agree
So
with
that's
that.
what.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But you shouldn't be winning every game ugly.
No, it's just the first 3 games. So we lost 1, we won 2. It's fine, but there's a big improvement from our first game, which we won 1-0. We were terrible in the first game. Against Spurs, we were good in the first half. Second half, they came back and they hit us 2 goals. In this game, we showed that, okay, we could play. We could score goals. And now, of course, in the next game, we'll take all this 3 collectively and we'll improve. If see, Harry, the thing is, if you tell me United played 10 games and all 10 games they've been terrible, then yes, we probably have a problem. But this is the first 3 games. So let's see what happens next. And I'm quite positive and I'm very confident we are going to show what we are made of. And it's just the beginning. And with Rasmus Højlund coming into the squad, soon when he's fit, it's gonna get even better. Trust me.
Interesting, man. I remember making a prediction some time ago. Was it last year, last season, when I said that? What was I think I said specifically at that point in time that yeah, I mean, City were going to come back and win the league against Arsenal. Arsenal were well ahead at that point in time, but I said I saw City coming back to win the league. I'm going to throw another thing out there, man. I don't fancy Erik ten Hag as a manager. I've got to be honest, man. I don't know what you guys see in him. I don't see much in the guy. I mean, he's been in charge for a year and a bit. I see a lot of similar issues to when Solskjaer was in charge. I don't see a clear pattern of play. The other thing I will say is Bruno Fernandes is a quality footballer, no doubt, man, but he's obviously got issues as well. As you can see, he moans a lot. And the other question I have for United fans is Bruno Fernandes a flat track bully here? Because he only seems to play well against small teams. And the big teams, he tends to disappear in the big games.
Then you go again.
Is Bruno Fernandes a flat track bully?
No, he's not. That's the answer to your question, and that's it. Period.
Yeah. Give me 1 or 2 big games where the guys turned up.
Against Arsenal.
Big matches.
Against Arsenal last season. Against Everton, of course. We played well against Liverpool, against City as well last season.
What about against Liverpool at Anfield last year?
Okay, you forgot about against Liverpool at Old Trafford. You
He
forgot
was.
against Liverpool at Old Trafford.
I
We
don't.
still beat you guys at Old Trafford. So it's
Uh,
not about how many goals, but he still performed. So
I don't know. I did. Was he?
he's
Did
not
he
really a
perform
flat-out
at Old
bully.
Trafford? I don't think he was.
Of
I think
course he did.
Rashford was good. I think Rashford was good
Yeah,
against the Old
Rashford was
Trafford.
good, but Bruno was doing his thing. He was doing his thing. He was laying the passes. He was there. So let's not talk about last season. Okay, let's not talk about last season. We are in the current season, and I think Bruno will show what he's worth as a captain. And he's showing it. He's showing it already. He's got a goal yesterday. So of course, I mean on Saturday. So yeah, he's going to be back to his best, and I think he's worthy of a captain. He's the right choice by Ten Hag, and I totally tell you, Harry, I disagree when you said you feel Eric Ten Hag is not fit to be a manager for United. I disagree because he has taken a lot and he has done so much for the club that no other manager would have done except for Sir Alex Ferguson. So I think he's going to be able to match that and he's going to take the club to greater heights. If any of you disagree, let me know. But to United fans, what do you
Yeah,
think? Do
no,
you
no, guys,
agree? Let me
let us know
know.
in the chat. I know there are lots of United fans who are big Eric Ten Hag fans as well. Like I said, I'm just giving my opinion. I would, I mean, no skin of mine. Obviously, United, I rather they do horribly, but I just don't fancy the guy. I don't see a clear pattern to play. I'll give you a good example. Roberto De Zerbi came in halfway the season last year, and I think his team has a clear pattern to play outstanding football. I just don't see specifically what Eric Ten Hag has really
I
done
tell you
for the
what,
club.
Harry. Let's have a challenge, okay? Let's see midway through the season after 15 games. Let's see whether you change your opinion on this or not.
Yeah.
Let's just give it 15 games. All right.
No,
Let's see what
absolutely.
happens.
Let's see absolutely what happens. Absolutely what happens indeed.
I think
I'll
you
give
will be
another.
mesmerized. I think you'll be mesmerized and you'll be like, yeah, man, Ram, you're right.
I'm going to throw something. Actually, going to throw something else out here for Eugene. I know it's very early in the season, man, but I've actually been very impressed with Ange Postecoglou and the way his team plays as
Me
well.
too.
I see a clear
Yeah, yeah.
pattern of play. He's been very attacking, but clear pattern of play. And again, this is something maybe I just don't see with Ten Hag, but I'll reserve my judgment because I find a lot of their football still very much is on the break, which is very similar to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But happy to be proven wrong. Let's see. Kevin De Bruyne believes creative machine Bruno Fernandes is the best attacking midfielder in the Premier League, excluding himself, of course. Right? That's what Kevin De Bruyne says. Indeed, I've got no doubt, man. It is. I got to say, I think Bruno Fernandes is an outstanding footballer. I just think he does moan quite a lot. I don't think mentality-wise, character-wise, he is. I mean, from me, from what I've seen at least, he seems to not be the best leader of the bunch in situations, or takes the heat or pressure of situations the best. So yeah, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, in terms of footballing ability, there's no doubt in my mind he's probably one of the best attacking midfielders in terms of output in the league by far. I just feel that in terms of character, Kevin De Bruyne is at a different level, mentality and character. All right, Ram, great performance. Nonetheless, coming back 2-0 down to win 3-2, brilliant result. 3 points in the bag and 6 points on the board, obviously. But Simba has got a question, man. United play Arsenal next week.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens with Bruno then. Yeah, let's have a bit of a bet here, man. Bruno Fernandes, big game next week is the day. Big game at the Emirates against Arsenal.
Bring it on, Simba. I'm not afraid of this. I'm very confident it's going to be a good result.
Who's winning the game, Ram?
United, of course. That's a silly question to ask, man.
Okay. Are you very confident though going to the Emirates?
I mean, of course, it's not going to be an easy place, but of course, I'm confident. I think we're going to take them on, and I'm happy that I want Declan Rice to play for Arsenal because I think he's not been performing, so it's okay. He can play.
Hitesh says, great player, Bruno Fernandes, but yeah, he can be a bit of a queen sometimes. Agreed, man. Agreed, my friend. Oh well, I mean, yeah, Eugene. Spurs fans, just be careful because you don't know how long it's going to last. But right now, for the time being, man, Ange Postecoglou is winning friends. He's playing good football, winning friends. I think winning a lot of admirers in the league and from football fans alike as well. So yeah, he's been impressive, man.
No, he's been good. Agreed.
Very quick chat, Ram. Quick chat about Arsenal Fulham, man. What are your thoughts?
Well, to be honest, I didn't catch the game, but I do know that this was a 10-man Fulham, if I'm not mistaken.
They lost a man later in the game, and they equalized. The equalizer, the 2-2 equalizer came when they were down to 10 men from a corner.
But this is what I think. Teams like this, even though they can be 10 men down, and they can still perform against the big boys. So this goes back to my point of what I said earlier. Nothing can be taken for granted. You can be Arsenal, Liverpool, United, whatever, but You got to play your game throughout the entire 90 minutes, thinking that you might lose the game. And look what happened. They got equalizer. So
Actually, I want your view, and I want the guys' views in the comments as well on this, man. But just a thought: have Arsenal, a bit like Newcastle, lost a bit of an edge going into the season? Obviously, the qualifier for Champions League really pushed City all the way last year. Made 3 big signings, by the way, right? Spent
yeah,
a lot of money on Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Julian Timber, by the way, great player, but he's out for the season now, right?
that's a
He-
sad one though.
yeah, that's a
That's
sad one because
actually sad.
I think he's the best of the 3. So he's
Yeah,
out for the rest of the season. But yeah, I mean, have they lost a bit of an edge? Because the first 3 games of the season, Arsenal,
mm,
Nottingham Forest at home. So kind
mm,
fixtures, Nottingham Forest at home, Crystal Palace
mm,
away from home. A Crystal Palace, by the way, that has lost Wilfred Zaha as well.
mm,
And then Fulham at home. Those are 3 pretty easy fixtures to start the season.
mhm,
Fulham have
mhm,
lost Mitrovic as well. Um,
mhm.
they beat Nottingham Forest 2-1 at home.
Yep,
Close game. They beat Crystal Palace 1-0 through a penalty away from home. Again, very close game. And then they end
yep.
up drawing at home to Fulham, a 10-man Fulham as well, and having gone behind as well. Have
Mm.
they lost a bit of an edge, man?
I honestly don't think so, Harry. I think it's just some teams they take some time to actually get into gear, and I think I'm going to give them credit as well because they've not lost the game. They've won 2, they've drawn 1, and I think the best is still yet to come for Arsenal. But I think they can be slow starters, and I think that once they really pick up, they get into form. They are close to unstoppable, and I believe you will see that happening in the next couple of games. So I don't think so. They have gone down in terms of their style of play or their standards. I think they still have it in them. It's just I think now what I really think is the problem, not the problem. What I think could be the issue is because Declan Rice is in the team, so it's a lot about him gelling with the players around him as well. So it's going to take him a lot of time, and he has been the most expensive player that they've actually purchased this season. So they have to actually put him into the team. So I think they're just slowing down because of that fact. But once he picks up pace, I think it's gonna go flying. And Arsenal will still play good football, and I think they're gonna be a team that will still push City all the way. City all the way. I said City on purpose, by the way. No pun intended.
No,
But anyway,
no,
yeah.
no, no, no. I'm just gonna add something else, man. Um,
No, not this
I
weekend because that's not on form yet.
no.
Eugene,
But I'm
that's
just gonna
why.
add something. I'm just gonna add something else and my thoughts behind this, right? The reason why I speak about Arsenal maybe dropping the ball a little bit. I'm actually referring to Arteta here. Uh, so, firstly, has it affected the squad harmony a little bit? Because I thought Gabriel was a brilliant defender for them last year and very important for them in key
Yeah.
moments. He's obviously dropped him. He's not played in any of the
Mm,
games. He's been dropped from the squad, right? Dropped to the bench. Uh,
mm,
that's one decision that he's made. The other decision is obviously selling Shaka. I thought Shaka was outstanding for them last year, Granit Shaka. And he's replaced Shaka with a 60 million pound Kai Havertz, who
mm,
by even talking to Arsenal fans who I've been talking to as well, just this weekend as well, they are saying he's a flop and they don't understand why Arteta spent that kind of money for Kai Havertz. He's not really a midfielder. He's a bit lazy, is what I'm hearing from Arsenal fans. Shaka was hardworking. He was tough. He was a leader. He was a team player. And they are not getting that from Kai Havertz. So has Arteta thought things a little bit, and has that caused a little bit of an issue?
No, I mean, I think it happens to the best of managers as well. Not every manager will make the best signings, and sometimes some of them will be flops, some of them will be successful. But I think you got to give the guy credit for what he's done last season, and not jump the gun and say that they brought the ball so early in the season because I think there's so much more to be achieved for Arsenal. I mean, people may say that the Charity Shield is not a trophy, but I think it's a start of adding silverware into their cabinet. And I think it's also the pressure that they probably have is because they have gone so far last season. Now they've got to match up to that or do even better. So sometimes because of that, managers tend to over judge themselves or try to push themselves to the corner and think that whatever decision they're making is the right decision. But in actual fact, it could be the wrong one in the beginning. You see what I'm saying, Harry? It could be the wrong way in the beginning, but as it goes along, it might just turn out to be, how he wants the team to play.
That's
So
that's not what I'm hearing from Arsenal fans. And Simba is saying the same thing, man. What is his purpose in midfield, Kai Havertz? £65 million wasted is what he's saying
Maybe
as
he
well.
saw. Maybe he saw what the other
and
managers couldn't see. You know.
and,
So
and the fact
yeah, maybe.
and the fact that he's come into a midfield role, which he's never really played before, by the way, and a role that was very critical. I think it's more the position, the person he's replacing was Granit Xhaka, who was a real team player, real tough nut in that midfield. They had a really good season last year. People forgetting he had an outstanding year last year for Arsenal, and I don't think he's doing justice to that role. That's one. Yeah, Xhaka wanted to leave. I get that, but Kai Havertz, man, yeah, like you say, can't score on Chowkit. I like this. I mean, this one's a good point, right? Gabriel without Saliba was shite. That's what people say, Eugene. But at the same time, I think right now Ben White is playing with Saliba. Is it fair to say that Ben White without Saliba would be shite as well? Because I think anyone without Saliba is shite. And the other thing as well, Saliba is a more laid-back kind of a defender. He's a calm defender. He's not an aggressive defender. He mops up at the back. And I find Ben White is a very similar player. He's a possession player. He's calm. He's composed. So you've got two players who are very similar. Whereas when you talk about the best centre-back partnerships in the world, like Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, there's always one composed player at the back, like Rio Ferdinand. And then there's the aggressive guy, which was Nemanja Vidic.
Yeah.
Gabriel is that aggressive guy. He's a very aggressive guy. He gets into the face. He closes people down really quickly. He was more the aggressor, which is why I thought that partnership together was good. Yes, without Saliba, it didn't work, but together it was good. And I don't know whether that's disrupted the harmony a little bit as well from Arsenal. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Tierney has gone on loan.
Yeah.
Tierney has gone on loan to Real Sociedad, right? So he's left the squad as well. But yeah, I mean, let us know your thoughts on this Arsenal side. Is Arteta overthinking things?
Yeah.
Have they made wrong decisions in the market as well?
Any Arsenal fans out there, what's happening? Is it because of any dressing room issues? With Arteta, whatever happened? If you guys know anything, let us know. Because
I mean, the other thing, right, to accommodate Declan Rice, he's actually moved Thomas Partey to right back, and then Thomas Partey comes into the middle during the game, but he's playing more as a right back now. So I don't know, because Thomas Partey, I thought was really good in midfield the first part of the season. Yeah, the second half it dropped off a little bit. So I don't know, maybe it's a teething problem, but I just feel there's some issues there that need to be ironed out by Arsenal. Yeah. Anyway, anything else you would like to add, Ram? Any other game you would like to talk about briefly?
Well, I just have to give credit to West Ham. I think I'm just going to say that West Ham did brilliantly in the season so far. I hope that they achieve something this season and not just a 3-game wonder where they actually haven't lost. But I hope they maintain what they have been doing and perform really well. And with the players that have actually brought in, the new recruits of West Ham, I'm really, really looking forward to see how they actually perform throughout the season. So I give my cheers to West Ham.
And my favorite of the bunch is Kudus, by the way, man. What a signing, by the way.
Me too.
I think 35 million pounds as well. What a signing.
That's a bargain. That's a bargain for a player like him.
I'm surprised Liverpool and some of the other top clubs didn't step in for him, man. Yeah. Partey supposed to replace Xhaka. Rice could be the unsettling part. Yeah. Supposed to replace Xhaka. Rice could be yeah, exactly, man. This could be the part that's unsettling. But we'll wait and watch. Wait and watch, guys. But yeah, this weekend, I think it's fair to say, Ram, this weekend of matches, this weekend belongs to Liverpool, my friend. It belongs to Liverpool. Ram, I want you to join me and sing "You'll Never Walk Alone."
No. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But I will say yes, based on how the game went, based on how the hype of the game was, how Liverpool was at a disadvantage, having 10 men and then coming back and scoring 2-1. I will give it to you guys. Yes, it's definitely, you guys took the spotlight. But I'm happy I got the 3 points. Harry, you're happy you got 3 points. So end of the day, we're all happy. We're both happy. So that's the best part, right?
Exactly. I mean, guys, listen, leave your comments. Please drop your likes on the video and the stream as well. For those who have joined us and viewing as well. And do subscribe to the channel. We'll be back next week. But for the time being, guys, it's been an awesome week of Premier League action. Liverpool, comeback kings. They're back again. Are they challenging for the title again? And United. And guys, maybe Darwin Nunez for the Golden Boot. Anyone thought about Darwin Nunez for the Golden Boot? What a signing!
He's gonna get a boot.
What a signing he could turn out to be this year. Obviously, the real Darwin Nunez might well have arrived. Yes, I'm not young. My heart can't take it anymore. Neither am I, my friend. I might look young, but trust me, I'm not. Yeah, Newcastle, man. The best games in the Premier League, by the way, the 4-3 games with Stan Collymore, Robbie Fowler. Liverpool, Newcastle never fails to amaze us, man. And another comeback as well this year from Liverpool, Newcastle last year at Anfield with Carvalho scoring in stoppage time in the 8th minute of stoppage time. And then again, we have broken their hearts. We like to break Geordie hearts. We're Liverpool. We'll never walk alone. Ram, you want to sign off, my friend?
Well, guys, thank you for joining us. See you all next week. So right now, signing off from the Plot Malaysia. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans.
Cheers. Bye-bye.